What about when you all first came here? What did you think of LA Youth and what it stood for? What it was all about? I mean, what was LA Youth in your mind? What did it sort of represent? Any thoughts on that? Yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'm Elizabeth Delstead. I wrote for the paper from 1999 to 2001. And to start off, I came to the paper because I wanted to write about government policy and what I thought about it. And I wanted to be a journalist. So now I'm not a journalist.
What?
I'm an attorney. But this is a positive. This is a positive. I help draft local policy. I draft ordinances all the time for cities, and I really have an impact on the laws that are being implemented. And when I came to LA Youth, it was because I knew they were going to have a diverse set of kids, and it is very eclectic, all very smart. So you really have to be on your toes when you're in an open forum and you're discussing issues like gay rights, like juveniles in jail. What do you think of those things? And you have to it gives you an opportunity to say, I disagree with that. I mean, I remember my first article was about whether juveniles should be treated like adults in jail. And as a minority, I said, yes, they should. And people said, but how can you say that? The juveniles in jail right now are mostly Latino like you or African American, and you're giving them the shaft. And I said, no, but you have to own up to your responsibility. And I was 16 years old and saying that. And now that I'm older, looking back, I think differently. But at that point, I was really firm about that. And, it was a really heated discussion, amongst a lot of teenagers, very smart and mature teenagers. And I was the black sheep in that conversation.
What I wanted to say is that what surprised me the most about when I first came to LA Youth was I was a sophomore in high school from Palos Verdes, which is like 45 minutes away from here. I had never been in this area before I came to LA Youth. And so what really surprised me was that not only was there so much diversity in where people were from and background and what kind of childhoods they were coming through, but also there's so much diversity in musical taste. People would have big arguments about what radio station they listen to, or fashion or things like that. And for me, I was pleasantly surprised that there were so many other things that I, as someone who doesn't really live the heart of Los Angeles, could relate to and talk about, things like that. I think that was one of my most important experiences, not only writing and being able to have an outlet for my opinions and things like that, but also interacting and learning and learning from and teaching other people about who I am and where I'm from and things like that.
I think LA Youth really does open your eyes to different, all walks of life and how different people really are. And I wanted to touch on respect to the gay community, and I remember there was a Models of Pride conference, and nobody wanted to go to it. And so I said, well, I'll go. I don't know anything about it, but I'll go. And people, said, if you go to that, people are going to think you're gay. And I said, well, what's the big deal? It's not a problem. It's tragic that you can't be an ally to people who are different to you. And when you are an ally, it really, to do that makes people really respect you as well. And I remember when I wrote that article, I wrote about going to the Models of Pride conference and what it's like to hear about people's stories and how they have to overcome so much indifference. And you have to, and how in the world could I relate to that? Because I had never dealt with that, but I had to, in a way, I connected to them because here I was saying, I don't care what my culture says. I think you are who you are, and I really want to, applaud that and share that with you.